Welcome to my lifestyle chat channel. Yeah, so I've been talking about feeling numb and disassociated, and I was talking yesterday about how sometimes I feel as if the last 20 years of my life just went up into the ether somewhere, like as if that whole time didn't happen, because it's as if I emotionally, mentally feel in that time period when I was like in my 20s, in my between like 18, 19, 20, 21, that sort of age group. I feel as if I've somewhere been transported. I've teleported back to that time. I've teleported mentally, spiritually, emotionally back to that time, which was like 25 years ago or something. And I think partly I'm feeling like this when I think I get like that when, because I've spent so long just growing up my son. It goes so slowly and so quickly at the same time. He's now 7. So I've literally spent the last 7 years like just growing him up. And, they go through growth spurts. So, for example, this summer holidays, he's just really shot up. And you feel your child like become more independent. You can see how at each stage, like when they're a baby, you feel they go through phases. So from when they start to crawl to when they start to walk and run, you feel that sense that that's a bit of independence for them, but they're still very heavily dependent on you, obviously. And then this is what I mean. It goes very cyclically. Where you can feel them kind of being less dependent on you, the more that they have their own inner development going on with themselves. And I think this summer holidays, that's what's happened with him. He's really kind of grown independently minded into himself. He's really developing his own like character and his own personality. He's got his gaming channel now, and I think so myself, I'm feeling that independence of him from myself. And I think when that happens, it frees up that extra energy that I've been giving, that extra attention and energy to him. It's like those resources are drawn back to myself, and it's like a part of myself comes back to myself, and then it makes me feel like, oh, I remember myself. And I think that's partly why it is what's going on. It's like I remember, I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. I'm Marcius. I've been paying. I've been so much of my time and my effort and my energy and drawing on my own personal inner resources goes into growing up my son, that attention on myself takes a backseat. So when it feels like, okay, job's been done, up to this point, he's become that more independent. It's like it's like a hard drive where you've deleted like the cache, the extra CACHE. You've deleted the extra store. You've deleted the extraneous energy that, you've freed up that space because you've deleted it. So now it's like you've got more energy, you've got more space on your hard drive. So it's that kind of feeling, it's like I've had some of my energy freed up that's been being stored. It's been freed up, so then I've got that extra surplus energy for myself. And then it makes me remember myself. I come back to myself. Oh yeah, that was it. Oh yeah, I'm Marcia Sparks. Oh yeah. And then it gives me this feeling like, oh, what was I doing again? It gets me back on mental track. Like, oh, what was I doing? Who am I? What was I doing? Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. Oh yeah, I remember now. And then so it's like emotionally, spiritually, mentally, I'll go through this thing where I'm like, oh yeah, I was trying to do this. I was trying to accomplish this. I was like, because I'm very like that. I'm very sort of, how would you call that? I'm very strategic. I like to have a plan, and I like to carry out my plan. Like step 1, step 2, step 3. this is what I'm doing today, this is what I'm going to do tomorrow, and that's what I'm going to do the day after that. I'm very much like that. Yeah, so I think that's what this feeling is all about that's going on inside of me at the moment. It's making me very like, oh yeah, I remember now, that's what I was doing. Oh yeah, that's it, yeah. And that's why I'm having this feeling. But then, so it's almost like the ether, the spirit, whatever you want to call it, God, I don't know what you want to call it, puts those pointers in the material essence to like remind me or something. I think that's what it is. And then that's, I think, actually what's been going on with me. Because, you know, a few videos back I was talking about the movie. I do like movies, so I probably will be you'll probably hear me talking about movies a lot, yeah, and self-referencing to movies as if movies is my life or something, because movies practically had been my life for a very long time. I'm like a movie nerd. Yeah, I am like that. So, this is what I was talking a few weeks back, yeah, how the movie Brassed Off was on the TV, yeah, and how I was supposed to be some sort of extra in that movie in the audience or something. This was like what I'm talking about, like 25 years ago, right? And then yesterday I was talking about how the Room with the View was on and how it was reminding me of like basically when I was at college and I used to study I studied the book and I watched the same movie with Helena Bonham Carter in it, Maggie Smith and Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah, so basically it was on yesterday, so then I was having the same like mental shift, like, yeah, being back at college, yeah, when I was studying that book, yeah, Room with a View, and I used to literally sit in the class room. I was like, I think I was the only, when I was at college, yeah, I'm talking about literally like 25 years ago, yeah, and I've done my A-levels, okay, I've done A-level English Literature, A-level Theatre Studies, and I've done media studies, basically. Media. I've done A-level English Literature, drama, theatre studies, and media studies. Okay, and in the drama class, I was in the class with like, there's probably about 15 girls. It was all girls, there was not one guy in drama, in theatre studies. And they were all white. It was all white girls. I was the only black girl. And there was one other Indian girl. And yeah, so I had two friends. One was Asian, the other was white. And oh yeah, it was a mixed race girl as well, yeah. She went on to work on TV and whatever. Then in the English class, I was doing English literature. I was the only black female in the class. Again, it was all females. There was not one boy in the subject. And so I was the only black girl in English, and all the other girls were Indian, like Asian, Indian or Pakistani, one or the other. And so this writer who wrote that story, A Room with a View, Ian Forster, yeah, his name was, whatever. He wrote another book. It was called A Passage to India. Yeah, because part of, obviously, we all know that slavery and colonialism and all this colonialism, you know, England, we all know that the British Empire went all around the world, didn't they? They colonised India, or they did for a time, they tried to for a time. They colonised Africa, and they brought the Africans through the slave trade to the Americas, to Jamaica, the Caribbean. Yeah, obviously we all know these things. So obviously when you're studying English literature, you know, you have to kind of, they have to kind of implement, you know, what's been going on, like historically, culturally, sociologically, politically, blah, 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 you know, in the books, the novels that you're studying. Yeah. So, because obviously that's what was happening at the time, wasn't it? Passage to India. And then, so basically, because I've been talking about that yesterday, I've noticed that today, because social media, it does go by your algorithms. Yeah, this video has come up on my feed titled British History is a Lie. And this scholar, historian, he's talking a lot about ancient Asian history, and I've only watched half the video, but he's leading up to the point that a lot of Western figures who were known in the European, English, Western European civilization, who have been known to be pioneers of Western, whether it's philosophy, mathematics, you know, who have influenced Western culture. A lot of them were actually, going back to the 1st century, a lot of them were not actually Caucasian, like white English. A lot of them were actually Asian, actually Indian. This is what he's talking about, like people such as Fibonacci, who, I don't know, developed some mathematical sequential system. He's actually Indian. This is what they're talking about in this video that I've been watching. And I know it's my video, yeah, I can ramble on, but I am going somewhere, I am getting somewhere. So basically, all of this, yeah, I've been talking about disassociation, and yeah, I think I used to be there in the class just disassociating when I was in my English class because of this fact. And this has a lot, largely to do with how I feel and how I've been feeling. Is obviously I'm in the UK, like I'm UK born, I'm British born. My origin, my ethnicity is Caribbean, and I do find that a lot of time wherever I am, I'm around a lot of Caucasian people. Obviously, I'm in England, so it's gonna be, you know, obviously it's predominantly Caucasian white people, obviously, and Pakistani, Indian people. But what I find in this country is that Asian people, I feel they get, you know, because they're a larger proportion, there's a bigger population of them than there is Caribbean population, even though, you know, Caribbean population is very small compared to compared to the Asian population in this country. And I do find that as a minority in this country, I do find it just generally in like textbooks, even the English, they give more respect and they treat Asian culture and Asian people are more apart as their own than they do black. You know, they will talk and have this ongoing dialogue with, like, you know, between, you'll see the English white have this like conversation and this dialogue with Asian and Indian people. They give them that respect. But I find, you know, I wouldn't say so much African, because I do think English people, they do respect African people. But when you're African Caribbean, when you're like Caribbean born, we do not get any respect whatsoever. And what I'm saying is, you will see it played out. You know, it's in textbooks even, where they'll just completely ignore any kind of influence that Caribbean has had, any Caribbean influencer, or any way that we've culturally influenced the Western world, or like England. They'll just totally obliterate it and ignore it. And they always want to refer us to, well, look at us, well, you're just a slave, you come from a slave, you're just a black slave. Yeah, or continually refer us to Africa, which is like what's going on at the moment in the country, where, you know, all this, you're having a lot of migrants coming into the country, okay, from all around the world. But so what you're finding is that they always want to self-reference us Caribbean people, like Caribbean British born people who are born here. They always want to reference us back to Africa and lump us in with African people who are the migrants, which for me, it's like, I'm not calling African people backwards, okay? I'm the least racist person, okay? And I do not support in whatsoever, any way, manner of shape or form, this hierarchical structure of like white supremacy, like white is up there, you know, black African is down there. I'm just totally against that. Okay, but what I'm saying is, they always, as a Caribbean person, right, British born in this country, they always want to lump us in with like the African migrants who are not born in this country. They don't ever give us that, like, What I'm saying, you'll see it. Like, even if you watch, you know, when you watch these like BBC political documentaries, these political debate episodes that come on late at night, like news night. Okay, they always have like, it's always a Muslim, it's always an Indian Muslim, like lawyer or doctor or professional. They'll sit down and they'll engage. They'll have this kind of, yeah, debate, yeah, with them, but never ever with maybe an African black person, but it's never Caribbean. It's never ever an African Caribbean person, because they always want to just put African Caribbean people into this stereotype, into this lump sum of like, you come from slaves, yeah. All you do is listen to reggae and all you do is smoke weed. That is you. That's all there is about you. There's nothing else to you. There's nothing else to your culture. You do not contribute anything to our culture. You do not contribute anything. Who are you? You're just, who are you? Yeah? They always put us into this bracket, okay? And this is why, you know, you'll hardly ever see like African Caribbean businesses. They don't succeed. It's always like, you'll always get the Asian or the Indian man on the, you know, on the corner with his news agents, with his shop, whatever. You've even got like the Vietnamese and the Thailandish and all these people now that come into the country opening up all these nails bar and all these nail salons and all of this nails beauty bars and all of this. But you'll hardly ever see an African Caribbean backed business. You just hardly, I'm not saying you don't see it, because you will see it. I'm not saying you don't see it at all, but you will hardly see it. And it's for this reason. It's not because Caribbean people are stupid. It's not because we're lazy, okay? It's not because all we want to do is listen to reggae and smoke weed all day, yeah? It's because we're not supported by these institutions, by this country. Okay, we're not given that headway, like leadway. We're not given any respect. We're not taken seriously whatsoever. We're just not taken seriously in this country. But I'm going to end that video there. I'm going to carry on in my next video. Watch part 2 if you're interested in this topic. Thank you very much for watching. Like, share, leave a comment, subscribe. Bye.